Hey guys, it's Rashab, and I'm bringing you my episode recap of Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 6, Blood of My Blood. So, this episode aired last night, and like always, this will contain spoilers. So, watch the episode and come back and watch this, or if you've already seen it or you don't care, then I guess just continue watching. So yeah, that's a fair spoiler warning, and this is the last time I'm gonna post a spoiler warning in these videos because it should be obvious that there will be spoilers. So yeah, let's get to it. So first of all, the story starts off where the last episode ended, and that was with Bran and Mira running away from the White Walkers. So if you remember last episode, the three-eyed raven, Hodor, and the children, and even I think the tree they were on, it all fell. Like when the White Walkers attacked. So now Mira and Bran, they're just trying to head towards the wall, heading south. But Mira can't carry Bran at this and fight at the same time. So eventually they come into a forest, and Mira gets tired, and she knows that she can't go any further carrying Bran, and she doesn't have any weapons to fight the White Walkers with. So she pretty much accepts death, and she just hugs Bran and just like she accepts death. She doesn't see any way she's gonna get out of it. And then the White Walkers show up, and they basically attack Mira and all. But during this time, Bran has been having random visions of both the same visions we saw last episode with the White Walkers and the children making the White Walkers. But we also get flashbacks of other points in history, most specifically Aerys Targaryen, and the part where Jaime kills him and where he earned the title of the Kingslayer. So like we see all this dragon fire just blowing stuff up, and the Aerys saying burn them all, burn them all, and this matches Jaime's story that he was telling Brienne back in season 3 when he was explaining to Brienne how he really earned the title of Kingslayer, and that was the moment that, at least for me, I realized that Jaime is not that bad of a guy. He's actually a good guy, just trying to earn the respect of his fellow people. So I almost felt bad for him in that moment. So yeah, it just showed that Jaime was telling the truth. He wasn't just making that stuff up. So anyway, the White Walkers attack, and it looks like Bran and Mira are gonna die. But then someone on a horseback rides up and saves them. He has, I'm not sure what it is, it would look like a scythe, and he set it on fire and he killed the White Walkers. Mind you, these were just like grunts, like just foot soldiers. The Night King wasn't there, so yeah, so he kills the White Walkers and he ends up saving Bran and Mira. And we actually find out that this is Benjen Stark, Bran's uncle. And this is the first time we've seen him since back in season 1. I think it was the first 2 episodes. Like, we haven't seen him since the second episode of season 1. And everyone, including Jon and everyone, they thought he was dead. So it turns out that he's alive. He were actually ambushed by White Walkers, and he managed to stay alive all this time. But he couldn't find his way back to the wall. So now you're probably thinking, oh, it's just coincidence that Benjen showed up to save Bran, but Benjen said that the three-eyed raven actually sent for him, which means the three-eyed raven knew that Benjen was alive this whole time. So he sent for Bran, and he basically told Bran that, look, we need to head to the wall and warn the members of the Night's Watch, because we're the only thing that stands between Westeros and the White Walkers. So we basically have to be ready when they come, right? And he basically says Bran will have an important role to play in the war against the White Walkers. So I think Benjen knows something too, like the same way Three-Eyed Raven knew everything. I feel like Benjen knows something about the future, or maybe Three-Eyed Raven showed him. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Then we head over to Sam and Gilly, and they're basically heading home to Sam's home. I believe it's called Hornhall. I didn't really catch the name because my volume on the TV wasn't working properly, but I'm pretty sure it's Hornhall. So we meet Sam's family for the first time, and so first we meet his mother and his younger sister, and they're both thrilled and happy to see Sam, and they're happy to meet Gilly and little Sam, who Sam tells everyone is his son, even though it's not. So, and then he's dreading the moment to meet his father, because he and his father, they don't have the best relationship. I can't really think of a good analogy, but his father, since Sam is the eldest son, his father doesn't like it. In fact, he shipped Sam off to the Night's Watch on purpose because he thought it would make a man out of him. And so he was pretty angry when he found out that Sam's coming back to become a maester, because his father is like a respected general and a respected soldier in Westeros. So he feels like Sam kind of ruins his reputation, especially since Sam will be the one to take over Hornhall after he dies, and Sam is the eldest son. So we meet his father and Sam's younger brother. And so his younger brother, he seems like an okay guy, but you can tell that Sam's dad, he's kind of a jerk to Sam. He keeps like insulting Sam, and and insulting Gilly, he calls her a whore, and he basically says he keeps calling Sam a bastard. And so basically, he basically denounces Sam as his son, right? And then when he finds out that that Gilly is actually a wildling, he goes nuts in the sense that he's like, look, you need to get out. You're not coming back here again. I basically denounce you as my son, and I'd rather die a painful death and watch you take over my family and my, like, I guess, estate or whatever, and burn it to the ground. That's basically what he says to him. So Sam, like, he doesn't say anything back, and I was kind of hoping he'd say something back, because Sam, he's actually done more than his father knows. He killed a White Walker, and he's seen things that and nobody else in Sam's family has seen. And even Gilly tries to defend him, but it doesn't work out. So in the end, Sam just takes Gilly and little Sam, and they're running away. And I like one thing that Sam did, and he took his father's prized sword, which has been passed down from generation to generation in the Tarly family. So I like how he took his sword, and when Gilly was like, "Won't your father come after it?" Sam was like, "He can bloody well try," and that's when I felt like it was a good moment for Sam, because he's normally seen as like this cowardly character, but we all know he's more than that. So it was cool to see him have, like, I guess, I don't know what the right time is, like a bravado moment. So it was cool to see. So then we cut over to Arya in Braavos. So she still has to complete her mission from the last episode, which is to kill that actress in the play. So this time in the play, they're reenacting Joffrey's death. And so she puts the poison in the woman's drink, and when she's leaving, the woman runs into her, and she says, "What are you doing back here?" And like they basically have a heart-to-heart moment where Arya says, "Oh, she snuck in and all." I mean, she's lying, but the woman's like, "Oh, I did that the first time, and that's how I ended up working for these people, and I haven't regretted it since." And you can tell that Arya now, she make a connection. Arya's even like, "Look, they love you. You're a great actress, but if you hate the script, just change it." And so they have like a moment like that. And then just when she's about to drink the poison, Arya comes in and saves her and says, "Look, the other actress, she wants you dead, so just be careful of that." But what she didn't know was that the waif, the faceless lady that she's been training with, was there, and she reported back to Jaqen saying, "Look, Arya failed her mission. I knew it would happen. What do we do now?" And Jaqen, he looks like he regrets what he's about to say, but he basically says, "Look, Arya, she failed us. She failed the many-faced god. We have to kill her. Just make sure she doesn't. You can kill her. Just make sure she doesn't suffer." And the waif looks like she's taking pleasure in that. But one thing that I didn't understand, and on purpose, which I'm sure they'll explain in the future episode, Arya finds Needle, and it looks like, I don't know what she does, because like she's in a candlelit room, and she blows out the candle, right? So that's the last we see of Arya. But she found Needle again, so maybe she's turning her back on the faceless men, and she's gonna go reunite with her family, assuming she doesn't die. So we'll see that in future episodes. And then we cut over to King's Landing, where Margaery Tyrell is about to do her atonement. But then Jaime Lannister and the Tyrell army, led by Lord Tyrell and Olenna Tyrell, they come up and say, "Look, hand over Margaery and we won't take this any further. But if you don't, and you try to make her do her Walker of Atonement, we will kill all of you." Like he's saying that to the Faith Militant and the High Sparrow, right? So the High Sparrow, he's like, "We will all willingly accept death, and but not today," right? And so at first, I was thinking, "Oh wow, he talks a big game," but then as soon as like the fear of like threat of death comes to him, like he's just being a coward and standing down. But that changed when I realized what his actual play was. So he says, There's no need to for Marjorie to do this because we already have her atonement and we have a unifying moment from the faith and the crown. So then the door opens and you see that Tommen shows up, and that's when I realized, oh my god, he got Tommen under his thumb as well. So the High Sparrow, I feel like he has an angle. He says like he serves the god, but I feel like he has an angle. I think he'll become like the next Littlefinger in King's Landing. So he's got Marjorie, the queen, under his thumb, and now he's got Tommen. And even Jaime's face and all the Tyrells, like their face are like, oh my god, we've been beaten. Like even Lord Tyrell, he was like, what just happened? And then Lady Olenna was like, the High Sparrow just beat us. And then we find out that Tommen, he's stripping Jaime of his rank as the Lord Commander, and he's basically banishing Jaime from King's Landing, which is a kind of a sad moment because even though Tommen doesn't know it, Jaime is Tommen's father, and Tommen is the last child that Jaime has alive because the other two died. So I'm sure Jaime feels sad and angry at the same time, and Tommen, he looks like he regrets it, but he doesn't look like he has a choice. So like I said, the High Sparrow, he basically has King's Landing under his thumb. He has the Queen and Tommen with him. So Cersei, she says she'll just wait. Like Jaime wants to stay in King's Landing and kill everyone in the Faith Militant, including the High Sparrow, but Cersei's like, look, you go follow Tommen's orders. I'll deal with the Faith Militant myself, and the Mountain will kill anyone I need to, right? So and that's how that episode ends. I mean, that storyline ends. So now the episode ends with Dany storyline, and there's not much that happens. Basically, like she's still walking with her Dothraki army, and she hears a noise. So then Dany's like, look, you all stay here, I'll be right back. And then she's gone for a long time, I guess, because Daario, he's like to the Dothraki, look, you stay here, I'm gonna go find her. But then we hear like a noise, and it's a dragon roaring. And it's that shot from the trailer where Drogon flies over the Dothraki, and we find out that Daenerys found Drogon, and she basically gives like another speech to Dothraki, and I don't remember it word for word, but the gist of it was, will you fight? I will demand more from you than any other leader has demanded from you ever, and will you fight by my side forever? Like, will you sail across the sea with me to take King's Landing? And will you fight for me? Will you kill my enemies? That was basically the gist of it. And then the Dothraki, like, they're all cheering and all. They're basically saying, yes, we can. Yes, we will. And that's basically how the episode ends. So, yeah. So basically, my thoughts, I guess, like, I'll just do it quickly because I'm sure this video is getting long. So, basically, this episode is like, it's basically set up for future episodes. So Bran, he apparently has a role to play, and I feel like his warging powers will come into like full effect when he fights the Nightwalkers. I mean, not Nightwalkers, White Walkers. Sam, I feel like his father will come after him, and like he'll have to fight his father and maybe kill his father and or something. I don't know. I feel like there's only one way, like either Sam or his father will die this season, because Sam's father hates him and I'm sure he wouldn't regret killing his son. But I wonder if Sam will manage to kill him or yeah, we'll have to wait and see. The King's Landing story was by far my favorite. At first I couldn't decide between Bran and King's Landing, but the King's Landing story was by far my favorite in this episode. And I wonder how it's like what's gonna go down now, because I'm sure Cersei's mad about everything that's going on. Jaime himself, he verbally expressed, he's like, the High Sparrow's tearing our family apart. I want to go kill them all. And yeah, so Daenerys, it was just a typical speech that she always gives, and I'm actually starting to like her less and less, even though that was a pretty cool scene. Because like I don't know. Like, I don't really like her that much, and there wasn't much in her scene. Oh yeah, the one thing I forgot to talk about quickly, and Walder Frey is back, and he has Lord Edmure. If you remember from the Red Wedding, he's Robb Stark's uncle, Catelyn Stark's brother, right? So they're basically saying we need to take Riverrun back because someone's taking it from them. So we see Lord Edmure, and Lord Walder Frey is like, you're going home, and that's all we see. So I feel like Walder Frey is gonna die this season, because Sansa, she says she wants to take revenge on everyone who's ever hurt her family, and of course Walder Frey was responsible for the Red Wedding. So I feel like he's gonna take the Walder Frey's gonna die this season, because after they take Winterfell, they need to take Riverrun, because Riverrun is a part of the North. So wait, we'll wait and see. So yeah, that's my recap of last night's episode of Game of Thrones. So what was your favorite moment from the episode? And what was your favorite storyline of the episode? And in fact, what was your favorite storyline so far? So whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.